Hello everyone, I hope all of you are well and doing good. I'm sure many of you are locked down in your respective countries and well, from my experience, a lot of my friends have been telling me that this lockdown has happened for a very good reason, and this is the best thing that could have happened to me. And I think most of my friends, my Dhamma friends, have been sending me these sort of responses to lockdown. So, which is a clear sign that I think many of us are taking this lockdown as positive and not something negative, something bad or terrible thing is happening to us, but rather many of us are thinking and recognizing the value of this lockdown because of this COVID-19. And so this video is actually for those who are considering to meditate, or for those who have started to meditate, or for those who have been meditating for a long time. So I'm going to focus this video exclusively on meditation, relating to my experience and my practice. Well, like anyone, I would say the same thing. Well, this lockdown, for me as well, I would say this is the best thing that's happening to me, because I think this lockdown for me personally is like a retreat where I have all the time for myself to focus, to meditate and do all the things that I love to do. Well, that doesn't mean that I hated what I did before, but there were times when I would like to have a self-retreat, and I was considering it for many years that I wanted to have my personal retreat, and this is exactly what I'm getting right now. So, well, I start my day at 4 in the morning. I wake up at 4, and 4 to 6 I dedicate for sitting meditation, and from 6 to 8 I practice Tai Chi, Qi Gong, which I call it movement meditation. So for me, from 4 in the morning till 8 is exclusive time for my inner development. So I really enjoy this, and meditation is something that I don't know if many people can relate to what meditation is, but for me, meditation is sort of an inner opening. It's like answering all the queries that you might have about life, about mind, about this emotion, that emotion. It's like an answer. It's like opening an answer to all your questions in life. And this is what I've been experiencing through meditation. And let me briefly explain what meditation I practice and what you could be practicing. And if you're practicing, just make sure that you are practicing it in the right way. Well, meditation basically means awareness, or many a times people use this word mindfulness. So awareness means you are aware of everything that happens in your life, everything that's happening in the mind, everything. You are aware of what you say, and you are aware of all your physical actions that you do. That basically means meditation. So being aware. So meditation in active daily life, or mindfulness in active daily life, basically means that you are mindful, you are aware when you are doing all activities in your daily life. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you are aware you're waking up in the morning. You go to the bathroom, you are aware you're going to the bathroom. You're answering the call of nature, you're aware. And then you brush your teeth, you're aware. You're washing yourself, you're aware. You're getting yourself prepared for going for work, or you're preparing yourself for the day, you're aware. So if you're aware, most of the unnecessary thought that disturbs you or might create negative thoughts in your mind is kept aside, because the awareness doesn't allow all of that things to happen. So awareness basically is paying attention or keeping the mind focused on one thing at a time, and not trying to be multitasking, which many people are trying to do, and it doesn't happen at all. There is nothing called multitasking, because the mind cannot do two things at a time. The mind can only do one thing at a time, and this is what it is. So if you are a beginner to meditation, what you can do is very simple. Buddha gave very simple technique of meditation, and let me tell you, meditation is the simplest and the most easiest thing to do, and yet when it comes to practicing, it could be the most difficult thing, because you're dealing with something which is very complex, which is very stubborn, which is very restless, which is very agitated, and which is very emotional, and that's your mind. And that's why you are physically and mentally, you're physically doing nothing, but yet when you're trying to be aware of your mind, trying to train your mind, trying to develop a new habit of your mind, then it's the biggest challenge. So what we do in meditation is basically you walk on your breathing, you work on your breathing. So in meditation, you work on your breathing. Very simple. You do nothing, just being aware of your breath. That's all. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. It's a common sense that we all breathe in and breathe out. The only addition that you do while meditating is just being aware of the in-breath and the out-breath, and that's all you have to do. You have to be acting like a watchman, where you keep your mind focused on the small area on the upper lips, door of the nostrils, or inside the nostrils. So when you breathe in, the air that goes into your body touches somewhere on the upper lips, door of the nostrils, or inside the nostrils. And when you breathe out, it exactly happens the same. Now, when you breathe in and breathe out, all you do is just close your eyes for a few moments, and then you just observe the breath coming in, the breath going out. That's all. You're aware of the breath coming in, the breath going out, the breath coming in, the breath going out. Well, this exercise anybody can practice. Any person with any religious background can practice this, because breath does not belong to any particular religion. It does not identify with any particular belief system. Breath is just breath. It's natural. It's a law of nature, wonderful law of nature, that we are using it to give life to this body, to give life to this life. So this breath is all you have to do. Breathing in, you're aware. Breathing out, you're aware. Now, when you're practicing this, sometimes the breath might touch the upper lips while breathing in, but while breathing out, it might not, you might not feel the touch on the upper lips. You might feel it somewhere on the door of the nostrils or inside the nostrils. It doesn't matter. You don't try to change. You just become aware of, as the breath goes in and as the breath goes out, where it touches. That's all. Your duty is just to be aware. Don't try to change it. Don't try to manipulate the breath. Just natural, normal breathing. Okay. Now, let's say you're not able to observe the breath because this is a very small area. It doesn't matter. You can start being aware of your abdomen. When you breathe in, your abdomen rises and falls, rises and falls. So you can do this. You keep your mind focused on the stomach area, your abdomen area, and being aware. When you breathe in, you feel your abdomen is rising and falling and rising and falling. Then slowly, after a few minutes, you can come and feel your chest. When you breathe in, your chest rises and falls. Your lungs, when it's filled with air, it rises and falls, rises and falls. So first the abdomen, then you come up to the chest level and you feel your chest breathing in, breathing out, rise and fall, rise and fall. And after a few minutes, then you slowly come to this area where you feel the breath actually going in and out of your body, touching either the upper lips or the door of the nostrils or inside the nostril. So this is basically how we practice meditation. Very simple. This is called Anapanasati. That means awareness. Sati means mindfulness or awareness of. Ana means breathing in, Pana means breathing out. So Anapana meditation. This is what the Buddha taught. Now, all you have to do is you can spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on your availability of time and suitability or whatever. But I would recommend minimum 15 minutes to begin with, minimum. 15 minutes every day. Try with 15 minutes. Now, if someone says, well, 15 minutes, I don't have time. It's very simple how you can imagine how much time you have. You know how I started practicing meditation? Whenever I thought of meditating, sitting for an hour or half an hour, or even 15 minutes, my mind would find all kinds of excuses. Oh, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this to finish, I've got this to do, I've got this to do. Hundreds of excuses comes whenever you want to sit and meditate, or whenever you want to dedicate time for meditation. The mind finds hundreds of excuses not to meditate, because the mind is more attracted to doing other things, or the mind likes to escape and not face the reality. And that's why mind finds hundreds of excuses. Whenever your mind says this, oh, I've got this, just imagine, if you don't meditate and you try to do the other things, you will find out that most of the time, while doing other things, you are wasting so much time. You will not be doing something concrete, because you walk here, you walk there, you do this, you lift this, you drink this, you go here. Like just doing pretty small things, you waste a lot of time. Not 15 minutes, you could be wasting 1 hour. So just tell yourself, by sitting down crossed legs for 15 minutes, you are actually utilizing this time for something which is the greatest thing that you could be doing, to train this mind, to give time to yourself, to give time to understand who you are, what your mind is, what your life is. It's an amazing discovery. And after 15 minutes, you will feel, oh my gosh, it's something that I've been missing. And after 15 minutes, then you take care of other things that you've been thinking of doing. You will find you could do all of that and yet spare 15 minutes for meditation. And this is what meditation is all about. So that's why take out time, 15 minutes. Okay, considering all your excuses, 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes. Sit down quietly, settle down. Well, initially there could be storms, there could be like floods of thoughts and past, future. The mind has only two places to go. Past, thinking about dead past, or thinking about, planning about future. Both are not real. Please understand, both are not real. Past is gone and dead. You can never bring back past. Future is an illusion. There is no tomorrow. Come on, there is no tomorrow. Because the moment because let's say tomorrow comes, when the next day comes, it is no more tomorrow, but rather it is today again. So there is no tomorrow. Don't keep on planning for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 80 years, 100 years. Because our life is very uncertain. All you have, the most valuable time you have right now, where you can do the best thing for yourself and live your life to the fullest, that is guaranteed, is this moment. This moment is 100% guaranteed that you have this moment to live. The next 10 years, the next day, the next hour, you can never take it for granted, because you're not sure, nobody is sure, and nobody can be sure that you are going to live that very next moment. So meditation is actually keeping you in this moment, which is the most precious moment, where you understand yourself, where you understand the mind, where you get all the answer to your problems, where you unfold many deep answers to your life. This is the valuable time, the most valuable time. You might be thinking, what is he saying, most valuable time? Because many of you, I know many meditators would tell me, I started meditation, Vivek. My mind became so restless. I couldn't focus. I tried everything. The mind never gets focused. I'm not aware. I'm not able. I become more negative. Come on. Relax, relax, relax. You cannot train. Let's say you are like training a dog or training an animal to do a certain task. You just teach him once, twice, thrice, or 10 times. The animal doesn't learn. It takes days and months to train an animal. A wildest animal can be trained, provided you have a lot of patience with the animal. The trainer must have a lot of patience, because the animal doesn't understand our language. He doesn't understand human beings. So to train an animal as human beings takes a lot of patience. takes a lot of understanding of the animal character. Likewise, our mind is also described by the Buddha as a monkey. It's like a monkey mind, all the time restless, jumping here, jumping there, jumping here, jumping there. It cannot stay still. It is absolutely agitated, restless all the time, jumping. And when you first start to meditate, you will find there's a big revolt in the mind. The mind starts fighting with you. The body starts fighting with you because you're not used to sitting cross-legged. You're not used to sitting upright. You're not used to sitting and doing nothing. And the mind is used to thinking and being restless and being agitated. And suddenly you say, hey, mind, calm down. The mind starts to revolt. It is normal. It's natural. All you have to do is be very patient, just calm down, and just focus on the breath, focus on the breath, focus on the breath. One day, the whole 15 minutes might go into all turmoil, all kinds of volcanic eruptions of thoughts of the past, future planning and all that. Doesn't matter. Just have patience and tell yourself, relax, it'll be fine, it'll settle down. And slowly, you will see your mind is settling down. As days passes, you will find that the mind becomes more calmer. This is how you train your mind. So don't be impatient. Take it easy, take it calmly, take it quietly. Don't expect anything. You just sit down and just relax and calm down. Once the mind is calmed down, once you are trying to be aware, law of nature takes care of all other things that needs to be done. Don't worry about it. If you start being aware, the mind is amazing. The very complaining mind becomes a rewarding mind. The very monkey mind becomes a very disciplined monkey. This very angry mind, this agitated, restless, lazy mind becomes an active mind. And slowly you will start discovering that your best friend is your mind. Your disciplined mind is your best friend. And Buddha said, mind precedes all mental states. In everything that you do, mind goes first. Now imagine if you're doing anything and your mind is not disciplined, then your mind is your biggest enemy, because you will be doing whatever you will be doing. Most of the things that you would be doing is led by an undisciplined mind. Now imagine you start to meditate and then suddenly your mind starts to get disciplined. Then imagine whatever you do in life is led by a disciplined mind. Then imagine what kind of life you'll be living. So please try to meditate. Now let's say some people initially want to start to meditate and you feel like, I can't meditate, I feel suffocated in the room. Doesn't matter. To begin with, go to the nature, go outside in the nature. Sit down under the tree. Sit down somewhere in the mountains, somewhere in the woods, somewhere in the forest, somewhere in the garden. Just go out into the nature. Look at the clouds for a few moments. Look at the sun for a few moments. Use the clouds. Be aware of the clouds. Be aware of the rays of the sun. Be aware of the trees. Be aware of the earth. Be aware of anything that's in the nature, sound of the bird. Just sit down, just use the objects in the nature to be aware of. Just sit down, closed eyes in nature, or you open your eyes, look at the trees. Don't judge. Don't judge the nature. Just look at it, pure seeing the nature, pure listening, pure feeling, pure smelling. Now, if you start doing this, just be aware. The moment you listen to a bird in the nature, in the garden, don't start finding the name of this bird or which color, which species. Don't forget about it. Just listen to the sound. Become aware of the sound. And suddenly you hear another bird. And then you feel the wind is blowing. You can hear the sound of the trees, the leaves. Just be aware. Just don't hold on to it. Your duty is just being aware and just being there. And that is meditation. Start like this. Doesn't matter. Start like this. You start somewhere. What I want to say is start somewhere. Nature is so rewarding. You see, Buddha was born under a tree in open nature. Buddha spent almost all his life in the nature. You see, he became enlightened under the Bodhi tree. And he taught most of his teachings open nature, in the garden, open nature, under the tree. And Buddha passed away under the huge tree. So this is where you can see that a meditator, a seeker, is closely connected to the nature. That's why the Buddha used a lot of examples of the trees to explain the depth, the deep meaning of Dhamma. He used the examples of animals to explain the deep meaning of Dhamma. Why? Because Buddha was very close to nature. And when Buddha was in nature, he was completely aware of the nature around him. The trees, the birds, the wind, the sun, flowers, anything that was it, Buddha was purely there, just being with the nature. It is very enriching and rewarding. But the moment you start complaining, the moment you start, trying to describe or define nature, then you lose the very essence of your being aware. For example, if the sun is too hot, don't complain, oh, the sun is very hot, the summer is very hot. And suddenly winter comes, you start complaining, winter is too cold. It's raining, it's pouring, you start complaining, it's raining a lot. I don't like rain, I don't like sun, I don't like cold, I don't like this, I don't like that. All the time complaining, then you are not able to meditate. Then you will not be able to be aware without judgment. Stop judging nature, stop. Just sit down there and enjoy being aware. And interestingly, my experience that I've been meditating a lot in nature, I love forest, I love woods, I love mountains to meditate. When I sit in the mountains or under the tree, when I'm not meditating, when I'm just walking in the nature, yes, of course, you become aware. Oh, there are birds here, there are insects here, there are flies here, there are these animals, that animals, the heat of the sun. Of course, you become aware of a lot of things. But the moment you sit down under this beautiful tree or sit down somewhere in the nature and just close your eyes and just feel the nature, become aware, you suddenly start to hear things much more distinct, and you become suddenly aware of many things that you are not aware when you are not meditating, or when your mind is not focused. Then you don't hear many of them. You miss a lot of things in nature. But the moment you sit down, amazing, you hear the sound of the birds. The bird sings something and the sound is gone, and immediately there are two things that you are aware of. First, when you hear the sound of the birds or sound of anything in the nature, is that first of all, you become aware. Second thing that you learn is that everything in the nature is changing all the time. Impermanence. You understand life itself in the nature. Everything is impermanent. Leaves fall, impermanence. You can reflect your life on this. Everything changes. You see a bird sitting on the branch of a tree and it flies. Impermanence, change. Some trees are dead, it's dried up. Impermanence. Some flowers are drying up. Impermanence. Leaves are turning yellow. Impermanence. Suddenly there's a, very sun rays is falling on you. Suddenly a cloud comes, covers it. You feel the shade. Change. Sun sets. Impermanence. Sun rises. Impermanence. There's a breeze. Impermanence. There's a strong wind. Impermanence. One insect is crawling by. Impermanence. So the whole Buddha's teaching of impermanence can be learned in the nature very actively, and that's what I call it, active meditation. Active meditation. Now this is where, and when you are in the nature, it is so soothing, it's so calming, so quietening. And then if you bring this awareness back home, let's say you're sitting in your meditation room, or you're sitting in your room, or your allocated place for meditation. If you're sitting there, then it becomes easier to focus, easier to meditate. Because your meditation is continued from the nature to sitting, to walking, to seeing, to hearing, to smelling, to feeling. Your continued practice. Then you can call yourself a meditator. Another thing for meditators, Many meditators tell me, Vivek, today's meditation was just wonderful. For a few days I was just struggling meditating, but today my meditation was just amazing meditation. My dears, the day you describe meditation, again you have not understood meditation. There is no good meditation, there is no bad meditation. Meditation is just meditation. Awareness is just awareness. Now, if you are saying that I have a wonderful meditation, I had a terrible meditation, then that means you are actually playing a game with meditation like you do with any other things. I like this person, I don't like this person. It's the same thing. I like this and I hate this. It's the same thing with meditation. In meditation, whenever you meditate, sometimes you have very negative thoughts because you had a difficult day or you have a difficult night, whatever it is. You met some terrible person, doesn't matter, difficult person, and now suddenly when you sit down to meditate, you become aware of all this negativity. But that doesn't mean your meditation is bad. You're just being aware of it. Now your duty is to just become aware and just let go. Let go. You are aware. Somebody said something to you yesterday, very unpleasant thing. You become, oh, he said this to me. Let go. Come back to the breathing. Suddenly you remember you couldn't sleep the whole night. You were dreaming terrible dreams. Again, you become aware. Let go. Come back to the breathing. The more you are aware, the better is your meditation. And likewise, let's say you're meditating, suddenly one day you feel like your mind is calmed down, no thoughts are coming, no negative thoughts are coming, you feel very centered, you feel very focused, you feel very equanimous. Again, don't describe this as wonderful meditation. It's another awareness. That's all. You are aware. That's all. You are aware. That's all. The more problems, the more negative ideas or negative thought comes, the better it is actually for meditation because you have something to work on. But if you have no negative thoughts, if nothing is happening, if no restless or agitating thoughts are not coming, then you might as well be attached to that feeling of goodness, feeling of niceness, and you might think that I'm meditating. But actually you are attaching to that feeling and expecting that tomorrow I will have better than this meditation. So that's a danger. Don't put meditation into a box of good and bad. Meditation is just being aware. The more you are aware, the better is your meditation. That's all. So, if you had a good meditation, so-called, just smile and tell yourself, this will also change. And that's what Buddha's teaching is. Everything changes. Your good meditation, so-called your good meditation, might change the very next moment. You could have a terrible meditation. And then suddenly you have a good meditation, it could change terrible. And a terrible meditation the next day could be absolutely calm. So don't play the game of likes and dislikes, craving and aversion. Because if you are saying good meditation, that means you're craving for that experience. If you're saying like my meditation is terrible, then you're actually developing aversion towards that experience. And that goes against meditation. That is opposite to what you should be doing in meditation. So please be careful. So this is where I would stop today, and this is what I wanted to share with all of you. Please, no matter what, keep meditating. Never allow all these excuses obstruct you, become an obstacle in your meditation. Keep smiling. Let's say you had a terrible meditation, so-called, you describe it as terrible. Keep smiling and tell yourself, oh, I had a terrible meditation today. I had all these negative thoughts, but I was aware. So you just tell yourself like that, motivate yourself, inspire yourself like that by smiling. I've made a strong determination, no matter what happens to my life or no matter what happens to me in my meditation, when I finish, I just give myself a big smile and tell myself, that was a good experience. That was a good awareness. Never break down, never feel negative. Oh, I cannot do this. My mind is terrible. Meditation is not for me. Never think like that. But always keep a positive mind. Keep smiling and keep practicing. Wish you all the very best. Let us sit down for a few moments. Just relax your body. And let us for a few moments be aware of our breathing. As you breathe in, you are aware the breath is touching somewhere on the upper lips, door of the nostrils, or inside the nostrils. And when you breathe out, again, it is touching somewhere inside the nostrils, door of the nostrils, or on the upper lips. Be very patient with your mind. Don't meditate to become enlightened. Just meditate to enjoy this moment, to be aware of this moment. Every time you're aware of the moment, you are in the moment. For that moment, you are enlightened. Keep smiling. The mind goes to the past, goes to the future. Keep on bringing back to the awareness of your breathing. May all of you enjoy real peace, real happiness. May all of you be free from all difficulties, free from all sufferings, free from all obstacles, and enjoy real peace, real happiness.